Where would I be without you? Tons of mice. Hello, tons of mice. Hello, everybody. Well, it looks like an edit for me. Thank you for joining me. Damn it. Bad Chris. I did the thing at the place. Thank you, tons of mice, for joining me. Anyway, so hello. I hope you guys have seen Star Trek Lower Decks. I've seen the second episode. I'm ready to give it a review now. I don't know. But I have to say, it wasn't as bad as the first one. You know, the first one was pretty rough. So I'm gonna have to go back and redo this whole thing. So, Chris, check the mic, man. Check the mic. Anyway, so let me do the thing. Let me start with, first of all, I want to thank everybody who watches now and who watches later. Hello, tons of mice. Thank you for catching my mic issues. Bad Chris again. So what I want to do is I want to pop up this screen and I want to talk about this show as we come across. First of all, they disappointed me once again. We need to have the TV-14 violence and language. There's so much language and violence in this show that I tried to do things backwards, but it just ain't working for me. So let me put this over here, guys, real quick. TV and violence. TV-14 for language and violence is the first thing you see on the screen. You know, it's just one of the things that kind of worries me about this Trek. Clearly, you know, obviously I learned in the first episode this is not for kids. Clearly, this is not for little kids. I was hoping that Star Trek Lower Decks was going to be like an outreach to the kids to try to bring, maybe it is. And this is the kind of thing they show to kids nowadays. I don't know. I don't watch cartoons for kids normally. So anyway, I want to go real quick and go with a self-taser. I have a self-taser on the Amazing Super Chris. Yeah, that's all me. And the reason why is because I actually enjoyed the opening of this show, of this episode. I enjoyed it. I wanted to not like it again. I wanted to scowl as I walked into it. The glowing orb thing. Let me bring this up here. The glowing orb. The glowing orb that comes into the ship and hits the ship and runs into Mariner. That's classic Star Trek. I thought that was a lot of fun. When I saw it happen, I thought, well, it kind of reminded me a little bit of what's the show? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, don't tell me. Heavy Metal. It reminded me of Heavy Metal. The green glowing orb thing coming up and going through the bottom of the ship. And then, you know, it challenges her. And I thought that was kind of like absolute classic Star Trek, exactly what you'd see in a Star Trek episode. But I think something almost exactly like that impregnated Troy. The one thing I did enjoy, and this is where it becomes a self-taser, is that Mariner didn't fall for it. As soon as she saw it, she grabbed it, tried to stuff its ass in a container. I thought that was, I enjoyed that. So I got to give a little bit of credit for that. I thought the whole opening was fun. It didn't want to go in the container, so it offered to grant her wishes. And the more complicated the wish, or the more wish it granted, the smaller it got, until she finally got what she wanted and walked away. And I thought that was pretty cute. I thought that was, let me go back to where I was. I thought I had a picture. Then it goes charging at the captain, and it's so small and weak. It's like die mortals, and she doesn't even notice it. I thought that was pretty cute. Cute opener. Got to give them credit where credit is due. Is it Star Trek? It wasn't bad. It was cute. It's kind of cute. You know, the one thing like I've been thinking about, if the Next Generation was popping out, and that's what we had, and we were cranking out new episodes of the Star Trek The Next Generation of some kind, whether it be Voyager or a new kind of Star Trek Next Generation, but like that, you know, and we were, or something like that, and we were cranking out good quality Star Trek, this right here would be awesome. I don't think there would be much wrong with this, or at least it's just unfortunate that we're getting, this is the software that we get. But I do want to mention real quick that after this scene right here, whenever we get into the opening, the introduction with the music and the music on this show is better, I feel, than the music they use on Picard. This feels more like Star Trek. It feels like a Next Generation-esque sort of show. It's the same kind of, now Picard has the classical music going too, and it's got other things, but Picard's got like weird stuff going on in the background, sort of like Discovery, where it's got just odd things that are not, you know. But the original Star Trek The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Voyager all had scenes of the ship going through space and doing stuff, and this music that kind of rolled with it, and that's what I gotta give them credit. As far as the intro goes, this is the closest thing I've seen to Star Trek since the end of Voyager. Yeah, and no singing on the intros, by the way. Looking at you, Enterprise. Looking at you. No singing. Anyway, so there's that. So let me move on in my list. I just wanted to mention that. So then we get into this 5 minutes into the show. I'm looking at my notes here. 5 minutes into the show, and I'm already done with Mariner. I mean, it's too much. It's somehow funny that she's trashed the entire shuttle bay. That is a shuttle bay, I'm guessing, or some kind of place it is. I mean, she's just completely trashed it. Here's a shuttle over there. That's why I kind of think it's a shuttle bay. And it's funny somehow the show thinks it's funny that she's trashed the shuttle bay. And I don't really get it. It's like she's flaunting her nose at everything that is Star Trek, and she's the hero. And he's just an idiot. This guy here, he's always trying to do right. He's always got the right Star Trek thing in mind, but because he's trying to do right and he's book smart and all this, he's an idiot. Her whole message in this is about, don't think, don't study. We'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, that's kind of the thing. I've kind of noticed that they've got this. I don't know if I want to go into this whole. Is this woke? Is this anti-cis white male? I mean, there's I think only 2 or 3. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. The main characters on here, they're very dumb. Very, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. I don't want to go there just yet. I want to watch more and learn more before I get there. But I just kind of want to say, so 5 minutes into it, she's already obnoxious. She's got this. She's destroying everything. Then she gets to the shuttle bay, right? And this is disgusting. So she gets to the shuttle bay, and the lesson we learn is more spilled crap everywhere, spilled food. It's like she's got enough for 5 or 6 people there. Somehow she got there, made herself enough of this, and just splattered it around all over the console of this. This is the example. She's the hero of the show, apparently. And she's a moron, really, kind of a disgusting moron. It's like she gets away with things because the writers go, okay, she gets to get away with it. And here we go. Not that I'm trying to be a prude necessarily, but 5 minutes into it, I'm just trying to see my beloved Star Trek in this somewhere. I'm trying to find that what I used to love. And I guess it's 6 minutes into it. Mariner's already, I guess, doing her thing. At least she didn't get completely in her underwear this time. There were other cartoon characters to do that. But anyway, so there's that. I thought it was kind of, it's just, this is the most un-Starfleet character ever, and she's the hero. And anything the person who actually acts like a Starfleet person does is mocked, picked on constantly. He's always wrong, and we'll get to that some more too. We'll get big examples of that. And now Mariner is Jadzia Dax. She's got Klingons that she loves. She speaks Klingon. She drinks Klingon alcohol. She fights with Klingons. And then it just kind of. I'm like, really? You're gonna go there? I mean, we had I don't know. I love how what's that called? Man spreads. Very often when you see her character, she's sitting like that, very man spready. For what that's worth, I'm not sure what that's saying either. Maybe it's just trying to say she's a gregarious, outgoing person. I don't really know what that's about. But you watch her character, just about any time she sits down, she sits like that. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe I'm being too big a prude. Let's see. So then, now, after this, we get to, because that looks funny. So it's after this point, it's at this point that we make our first, I guess it's our Star Trek humor starts to get a little base. They start with the sex jokes. He talks about, rather than talking about his conquests, conquests in battle, he's going to tell her about his sexual conquests. Because that's really what Star Trek's about. And then, of course, she makes the joke, what, both of them? Because that's like the lowest, almost the lowest brand of humor you can get next to fart jokes, right? I mean, okay. All right. So where would Star Trek be without bisexual humor? Of course, naturally, Star Trek is built on bisexual humor. Anyway, so there we go. And the next scene we get to, once again, Boimler is doing his best to try to make this. But also you gotta think here. He's trying to make it the best Star Trek he can make it, and she's spoiling the party because she's shown up and she's being a drunk. It's almost like Jadzia, except for Jadzia didn't really do the stupid things that this person does. Yeah, she would party, but she wouldn't do. I mean, this is just dumb. They're trying to tap into that Jadzia love, I think, and they're, to quote Kirk, like a poor marksman, they keep missing their target. Anyway, so So she said, so like I say, he's trying to be a responsible person, but again, a drunkard. She's back there drunk again. This is second episode. Second episode we've seen her drunk in. And she browbeats him into going to somewhere they're not supposed to be. Browbeats him. I thought I had an image of her doing the browbeating. That's not the browbeating. That's not the browbeating. Let me go back. Not browbeating. So I must have not. It's sort of like this, except for she's pointing at him going, hey, do what the Klingon told you. And so it's like no matter what he tries to do to follow the rules of Starfleet, like you'd see in a normal show, it's just not, it's not there. It doesn't happen. And then, of course, after this, right about this time, came the joke about the rectal insectoids. So we didn't have to wait too long for the fart and butt jokes. So it's like the basest humor that we can get. You know, and things need to breathe. Yeah. So it's just, I just thought they were kind of reaching low. Here in a minute, they'll actually get to a Star Trek joke. They'll make an actual Star Trek joke. I got it. You'll get it. It's funny, sort of. So here again, I have to give another self-taser. And by self-taser, I mean, you know, I don't want a show. It's like this show. But there's a part about this show that I did actually enjoy. And there's this part where they were talking about, forgive me, the rectal insectoids. And Mariner says, my ass got chewed out, but his ass got chewed up. I have to say I gave them, they got a laugh out of the Amazing Super Chris for that one. Points for that. So then whenever she was, here's another thing I want to mention about this particular scene. Whenever she was bossing him around and telling him to land so they can get this Klingon some gach, I've now heard my favorite quote in all of Star Trek Discovery when she said, of course, again, she's telling him to land in the Klingon district because he wants gawk. And she says, this man wants hot worms. And I was like, that's my new favorite quote. This man wants hot worms in reference to gawk. So they get one. I thought that was cute. Then, of course, the cute kind of ends. The Klingon he laughs and spits bloodline all over everywhere. It's now back to like just dumb. It's just back to dumb. Then, of course, we get to the place where they land and the Klingon steals the shuttle and it's kind of dumb. And of course, he's passed out. Then he manages to steal the shuttle because I guess they forgot to take the keys out. They don't have codes that you got to start. Anyway, drunken Klingon, who is seconds later passed out, steals the shuttle, runs away. And Mariner, the Mariner character at this point, another self-tase, another self-own. She said something that again spoke to me, and that was she said when he asked her if she had read the mission briefing, she said, I skimmed almost most of it and read some of the captions. That's totally me. I do that. Yeah. I absolutely get that. I'm like, where are we going? Oh yeah, Mars. Cool. And, you know, and that's the end. I read the big words. If you put it in big letters. Now I've learned there's this thing on the internet, TL:DR, which means too long, did not read. I think that embodies my spirit animal. Too long, did not read. Anyway, so I have to say, I agreed. I enjoyed that part. I thought that was a good thing. So the show rolls on a bit, and then we get to the holodeck, and it was an interesting play on how training simulations go. It was kind of cute. I thought that wasn't bad. I forget the character's name. I've got him written down here. Let me pop down and see. It's something. Don't tell me. I can't remember his Rutherford. I enjoyed Rutherford. I like that character. He's been fun. It's kind of really Star Trek. This reminds me a little bit of the it's like a hyperbole of the quark thing, or maybe even whenever Deanna Troi tried to move from section to section. I mean, I thought that was cute. His role in this, his whole line in this show was all right. It was kind of cool. They're close. They're not too far off. Let me go back and see what I missed here. Did I miss anything? Yeah, no. So she's spirit animal there the one time, right? Then there, and then we get back to the sexual base humor. Back to making jokes, trying to use these kind of things. I guess I get it now. Star Trek did have sexy scenes. First, the Next Generation had scenes with people running around very skimpy, but that was like a commentary, a socio-political commentary. There was really thought behind it. It wasn't just, hey, put a cartoon lady or somebody with boobs on in a bra to draw people to look. I mean, you know, it was more to it than that. probably the same base premise. I mean, they're like, all right, let's find women and scantily clad people to put on the show, and now let's find a morally interesting story to put about it. Maybe I don't know, but in this case, they don't even try. You know, I just think it's unfortunate, that part. So then, a few minutes later, the show gives us another moral lesson. The lesson here seems to be that every normal, decent thing you see is the wrong thing, apparently, to do. And it seems like anytime this guy's going to do it, you know, like your cis white hetero male in this show is going to do anything, it's always wrong. I don't know really if that's a woke thing. I'm not really into this. I'm not really anti-cis woke. I'm not really anti-woke. I don't mind this. I feel like women and people of color and gay and people, they deserve more screen time. It should be more fair. I'm for equality. I'm not for superiority. And if your equal belittles somebody, then it's not really equal. If your desire to be equal is nothing more than to oppress somebody else, then you're not really desiring to be equal. And sometimes whenever we watch these shows that are kind of woke, like Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters with the girls where they're all females and stuff, it's insulting. It's not woke. They're not striving for equality. They're striving for superiority. And that's not what I like. This right here, everything this guy does is wrong. He's a moron, even though he studies. Studying apparently is the wrong thing. Don't study, do. Put that book down and go do. How did you learn how to do all this stuff? Because I did stuff. You know, don't study, do. It's kind of getting to wear on me a bit at this point. But I'm not really sure. Is that what's going on? They've got the security guard is a white man, and he's overblown as big white burly. It's complete stereotype. And we'll get to stereotypes later, but I don't know. It's just kind of over. I don't know. I'm learning. Maybe it's cool. I don't know. Something to learn. Then again, this is where, you know, he saw the little old man, the little old Andorian getting beat up, and he went to help him, but because he's white and everything he does is wrong, he's male, it's like, it doesn't matter. This guy, no matter what he does, is wrong. So the little old man that was getting beat up is actually an alien, and of course he couldn't have known that. So, but the lesson here by the show is just walk on. Don't, it's just very muddy. And then, of course, the next scene, because there was a bar fight, we get to see our, I guess, second main hero with his pants around his ankles. Because why? Again, exactly. Why do we need this scene of dignity for a Starfleet officer? I just don't. Who wrote this? Did Star Wars people wrote this? You know, so some of it is kind of, it's like they have a moment or two where it's not offensive. You know, I have to say, though, this one here hasn't so far been as bad as the last one, the first one. There again, I didn't really... Here's the security guy I was talking about a minute ago. You know, I don't know. Here's this guy here. I kind of dig his character. I do enjoy what he's been going through. He's the one I mentioned in the last episode where he wanted his anxiety turned up. And I guess he got it. But it's cute. I thought it was cute when they did the scene where they return to the shuttle and there's parking tickets on the shuttle. Ha, ha, ha. That ain't no lady. Good. Yes, tons of mice. Excellent point. So at this point here, I thought that was cute that they had parking tickets there. And then, you know, Mariner obviously has to do something exactly not Star Trek. Has to point out, to flaunt the law, the lesson here to be learned. What? I mean, if this was a kid's show, I mean, this whole thing is just a thumb to the nose of. She is just a thumb to the nose that is everything that is Starfleet. One of the things about the Federation of Starfleet from the Next Generation, especially those shows, is they work so well together because they worked well together. It was together. They followed the rules. They made the rules. They went, this is what makes sense. They did the thing, and it was wonderful, and they worked as a team. This is just, you know, and again, here she is with that. What is it about her spreading her legs? I'm not trying to be that way. I'm not that kind of guy that thinks those kind of things, but it's a commentary on what the writers and the comics are trying to say about this character. Go watch it for yourself. As you're watching this show, it's like something about her, and anytime she's sitting and half the time she's standing, her legs are spread. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's something they're trying to say. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. And then I thought at the end, All right, so I kind of knew she was tinkering with the Ferengi. I didn't realize that she was on the knew the Ferengi, and the Ferengi and her were buddies. But I kind of surely she knew what a Ferengi was. She clearly couldn't have thought it was a Bolian. But I thought it was cute the way they did that, and then the message she had afterwards, where she sits and talks to the oh, bad guy. Okay, that works that way too. Where she talks to the Ferengi and goes, "Hey, thank you for helping me pull that off," and she lets Boimler get a little bit of points with the other people. I thought that was kind of cute. The one thing I didn't think was cute was that in doing this, whenever they met and the Ferengi was trying to lead her off, he's doing all these Ferengi things, like he's twiddling his fingers together. He's almost like twisted his mustache, and she keeps going, "That's not a Ferengi." He's like, "Look, he's doing all the Ferengi things, you know? Surely he's a Ferengi." She's like, No, it's a Bolian." I tell you what, is that racist? That's absolutely racist. If it was a black man sitting there and he's going, "Yes, massa, come over here and get your shoe shine, massa. Come on, massa," and she was going, "No, he's a Bolian," and the other character was going, "No, clearly he's a black man. Look at him. He's doing all the things that black men do." And that's what you just saw happen in this episode. They racially vilified the Ferengi like we would not accept in any. I mean, you just wouldn't do it. It's just. I don't know. Of course, they do tease the Ferengi, but it's a little. I don't know. It's just. It was actually, I didn't notice that really. At first, I thought I was too busy going, clearly she knows he's a Ferengi, to not really kind of realize what was going on. It wasn't until later, whenever he's like, "Did you like the way I did the?" And I was like, or whatever, you know. I thought, wow, that was pretty damn racist. It was, I want to say specious, because, you know, they're not the same race as us. But if that were the deal, you saw my example. It just doesn't, you know. So anyway, that was just kind of a rough one for me. Let's see what any other notes I've got going on here. I did think it was cute, and I just want to say that real quick before I'm done. I'm almost done. I want to say real quick that I thought it was the green girl. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. I think tons of mice even gave me her name yesterday. That was the last time. The green girl and Rutherford, I believe his name is. I thought their thing was cute. That was classic Star Trek. There was a lot of this that was really close to being awesome Star Trek stuff. How he wanted to be with her, so he kept changing positions on the ship to try to be and organize his schedule around her. And then it turned out the way it did, and they were able to work together. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a pretty cool part of the show. I enjoyed the opening. I thought it was cute that she did certain things. It's just sometimes I think they're trying too hard sometimes. They're swinging too hard. Don't swing so hard, man. Just go for the infield on this one. You don't have to swing for the bleachers every time, you know? And so I just kind of, all right, so that's kind of my review this time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have to say I like this one better than the first one. There were some things that were a little grating. Mariner's very grating. She's insulting to Starfleet. She's installed to what my notion of what it was to be a Starfleet officer. Mariner is not it. She's anti it. And then the person who tries to be it, they insult and they crap on the entire show. And I don't know. I don't know about how I feel about that. I'm going to go ahead and do a review tomorrow for the third one. Tomorrow on Sci-Fi Saturday, I'm going to have Miss Leanne Lord, comedian and actress, who's going to join me, and we are going to talk about Star Trek Lower Decks. So be here for that, and hopefully we'll get somewhere. I don't know. I was going to try to get the third one done, but I guess they've released the fourth one now. So I'm gonna go ahead and have time with her, and then I'll do the reviews of those other two episodes next week. So thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next time. Take care.